like a race talk. It's a war for
Hey
your
everybody,
life.
it's Jessica Simpson.
This is Beyonce.
This is Justin Timberlake.
Hey, this is Avril Lavigne. This is Gwen from No Doubt.
Hi, this is Usher, and you're listening to
GSNJ Radio.
What's up, man? Y'all now tuned into the voice of reason, GSNJ Radio. I'm your host, Prevail MC, along with my co-host, Mike J. Coursey. It's been a long day for us, but we're here. It's official. We back. We started off our weekend crazy. Me and Mike actually went to a comedy show last night at Pastor Hawkins' church. She was, I wish I remembered her name. She was an older lady. She was like 80 years old, y'all, and she had some comedy that was out of this world. She had everybody laughing, and to hear her story about her stroke and not being able to talk and hear and all of that, and to see her sing and dance and do all of that, it was amazing just to see that God that we really serve. And then turn around this morning, he had a double service at his church. I was called to perform at another church, and the youth took to me, man. We had the youth running all around the building. It was a great time, and I'm just really witnessing God do something special for the Voice of Reason. And now we got my man Anthony Lewis in the building. He got his new single out called Unexpectedly, and it's an unexpected hit.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It's an unexpected hit. So, Anthony Lewis, man, it's been a long time coming for you. I just wanted to ask you, do you really, really have it in your heart, man, to come back to this game and change this era? What's going on with you, man?
I would say, first and foremost, thank you for having me. You
Right.
know what I mean? I would say, of course, because music is in my heart, and I'm always thinking about new ideas and new songs. And I just want to stay in my lane. You know, this era has their lane, and I just want to be able to stay in my lane, and hopefully we can merge the two.
Yeah, and you know what? I watched you merge between lanes, you know, with your father being a jazz musician, and I watched you be able to play in different venues in different lanes. And I seen you step off and do shows with your father as well. What are you actually gaining from that, in a sense of being with your father and being in those venues and being in those shows, and between your lane and his lane, being able to merge them together? Do you find it actually helping you in your current situation with your album? Like, can you merge the old school with the new, or you feel like the new school is too far gone for that to fit together?
Nah, I definitely think it can be merged. I try to keep it separate a little bit. Like I'll listen to a lot of new school things, and then I'll adapt to it and dig it. And then every time I go to like one of my dad's gigs and with his fellow jazz musicians and stuff like that, when I hear the trumpets and upright bass and stuff like that, it's like it's just a whole other respect level. And I turn into a student each and every time I'm at his gigs, because it's like that. I got a long way to go to fill them shoes of them jazz cats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I watched you one time. We went to an event, and you was like, watch how they scat, right? And I was like, I don't even know what scat is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But being around you, you knew exactly what they were doing because you've been, taught by your father for years. But let's get to something else, man. You are an artist in itself. You are an artist that has done multiple things on multiple platforms. I don't want to put none of your business out there, but you have sold tons of CDs. If people really knew who you really were sitting in this building, man, and the things that you have done, what is some of your greatest memories that you remember being around the world, touring, doing some things, some of the artists that you opened up for? Man, tell us more about yourself, man. Like, I know that you have some moments that you still remember and that you hold on to. What were some of those valuable moments for you?
Man, just that in itself, the whole grind. It's like the more you put yourself in that fire, the more you put yourself into that grind, the sharper you become. I forget what artist told me. They was like, put yourself on one tour, and you're going to come back a whole other artist. And I remember being on like an 8-city tour, and then I was just looking at myself like, damn, my skill levels then went from like here to here. Right. So it's just like putting yourself in that grind. You become that, you know what I mean, that musician, that artist that you always thought you could be. Okay. It sharpens you.
It sharpens you.
Yeah.
And, you know what it gets me is that you're a songwriter, and I watch you like write songs, man. You wrote a song called Thug's Love Journal.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, sir.
And you said you was inspired to write that song just for Jaheim. Remember? That song was so dope that I used that song for my wedding. You didn't know that though, did you?
Nah, I remember.
See, that song was so hot. It was called Thug's Love Journal. And I was like, this song is so amazing, but yet you never used it. My question to you is, when are you going to start using all of this music that you've actually written and stop worrying about getting it to other people? Like, use it. When you going to step out and use this music, man?
Well, I'll put it like this. And we even spoke about it one time. Us as artists, we so critical on ourselves. It's like when you create something, it's hot, but then it's like, I could have did better. So I'm always moving on to the next task instead of just sometimes focusing on one song, pushing that one song, move on to the next project. So this time around, I just want to be able to create a song, push it, move on to the next project, and try to build some momentum each and every time that I push, you know what I mean, a song.
All right, here's a question for you. What gave you the concept for Unexpectedly? Like, where did that come from?
I want to give a special shout out to my man Young Picasso out of Virginia, and he actually, inspired me to write that song because I was going through some things in my life, and I remember he came over my house, and we had the grand piano sitting in the living room, and he was like, "I got a hook." So the hook went like, "So unexpectedly." I heard that first line. I was like, let's take it to the piano. And then we just started creating the first verse, and then it evolved into a whole song after a few months.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it started, yeah.
Gotcha.
So what's your plans? What do you plan on doing with Unexpectedly, man? Like, do you plan on putting it on another platform? Like, I know we spoke about it. Like, do you feel like it's time for you to go ahead and invest that money and take that song to DAWS, man, and get that out there? Or what do you want to do? What's the next level?
Hey, like they say, go hard or go home, right?
Are you going to do it, or what are you going to do? Inquiring
He
minds
know
want
how
to
to
know.
do it.
I want to know, are you going to put this song out or not? I mean, because look, the song in itself you've had for years. You
Yes,
actually recreated the song now,
Yes, sir.
because that's not the same beat as when you originally did it. Don't forget, I know your music.
Exactly.
And I'm a fan of your music, so I listened to it before. I said, when you did it this time, I said, oh, he changed it. Pianos is different, the chords is different, and you even added words in there that wasn't in there. So you switched it up and you reinvented the song.
Right.
But so you reinvented it, but are you going to now let it die again? Don't reinvent it again. Go ahead and push it forward. What's your move? Are you trying to shoot a video? Like, what do you want to do with Unexpectedly?
No, that's definitely the move. Like you said, I had it for a couple years, but it was a song that I performed at a lot of shows. And I always got a good response. So it was one of those things I knew I had to get a recording of that song just to push it, you know what I mean? Right. And so by listening to a lot of this new era music, I took it back to the basics. I said I want to just find a producer that can really give it that sound to merge what I'm doing and where maybe some of the youth would dig the music as well.
And that's what this world need is that it's going back to the basics.
Give it a little...
And they need you to...
So you say you found a younger producer? Like,
Nah, just somebody I felt like that could give it that edge, give that song that edge, give it what it needed.
it definitely sounds good. I think that it's ready to go to the next level. That's why I was asking you, what do you plan on doing with it? I would definitely not sit on that song. I would definitely make some moves, man. You've been around. You done opened up for people with the LL Cool J. See, people don't know who you are, the Ashanti, all of those shows and platforms that you've done, man. You've achieved so much that I think sometimes you're so humble that you don't remember the respect that you have on your name. And I think that, I'm trying to encourage you today to tell you, brother, you need to get back out there because people still remember who you are. They still remember the things that you did with your group. They still, and I'm not going to say your group, but they still remember how many CDs y'all sold. Y'all rang bells, man, from here to Houston to, wherever, Chicago. Y'all brothers traveled the world and did y'all thing really big. And so your name is still big, and you should really do something else. And I'm so excited for you because I see it. The only thing is I don't think that you see it.
Well, I put it like this. I go hard on each and every song that I write. And that's all I could do. Give my best foot forward on the music that I write. And then from there, you know, got to think about the business aspect of it, the marketing, the promotion, building that buzz, and seeing if the people like it.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
So was the hold up more of you rebranding yourself, or you just needed time to really get a split second to actually think and write, or was it a rebranding type of thing?
I would say sit back, rebrand, take it back to the basics.
Okay.
I didn't want to just write just to write. And that's why I wanted to push this song. That's why I'm saying, like, with Young Picasso, he came, and that's why that song has so much meaning to me, because he was on me when I was on the piano writing lyrics. He was like, nah, you got to make every line count. He said, don't just write lyrics just to write it, just because it rhymes. Make every line count.
Okay.
So, taking it back to the basics.
That's good. Definitely need.
Now, is Unexpectedly the only song that you ready to run with, or are you sitting in the cut with a whole album waiting to drop? Like, inquiring minds want to know.
I would say I would like this song to build the momentum, and then I got different styles of music that I want to push, different like genres, so to speak, and let it go full circle. You know, whether I drop an EP or drop an album. Feel me?
I feel you.
Yeah.
So we got your song right now called So Unexpectedly. We're about to play it on the radio for the first time. The song is going to be played on GSNJ radio on the Voice of Reason. And also, man, we're going to keep this song in rotation. If you don't mind, we're going to keep it going in this platform so that people can hear this song and really get a feel from it, man.
I definitely
We're gonna
appreciate
go to this
that.
song right now. So Unexpectedly.
5'7" girl, caramel skin, those hazel eyes from the heavens. Ooh, you got that walk, and you got that talk. The way you dress really turns me on. You're professional in the things you do. Always on time, are you truly mine? Late nights by the telephone, when we both be all alone. Wishing you was over here, I'll be wishing I was over there. A good woman like yourself is hard to find. That's why I'm proud to say you're mine. Tell me, is it true, babe? Oh, is it really true, babe? Yeah. So unexpectedly, beauty has crossed my path when Cupid shot at me. So unexpectedly, been thinking about you, baby, all of the time lately. So unexpectedly, you shine that light on me. She walked out on me. So unexpectedly, I can see clearly now that you're the one for me. Unexpectedly, like the weather, girl, you rained on me in the summertime. If you was a book, girl, you'd be the last chapter, the very last line. Happily ever after, baby, baby, that's how much I care for you. Even when we're apart, you'll always be in my heart, 'cause the love we shared can't be compared. Baby, it's so rare. I can see us having a family, a couple kids running around. This the greatest love I've ever found. Whoa, so unexpectedly, beauty has crossed my path when you shot at me. So unexpectedly, been thinking about you, baby, all of the time lately. So unexpectedly, you shine that light on me. She walked out on me. So unexpectedly, I can see clearly now that you're the one for me. If you want it, you got it. We can do whatever that you want to. We can flaunt our love in the streets. I don't give a damn who watching me. If you want it, you got it. We can do whatever that you want to. We can smoke one in the air. You know a nigga like me don't care. If you want it, you got it. We can do whatever that you want. Baby, just don't take your love away. If you want it, you got it. Don't you leave. If you want it, I'll get it. Stay right
Jessica Simpson.
This is Beyonce. This is Justin Timberlake.
Hey, this is Avril Lavigne. This is Gwen from No Doubt.
Hi, this is Usher, and you're listening to
GSNJ Radio.
It's your boy Mike J. And then we also got Anthony B. Lewis in the building.
Yes, sir.
What y'all just heard was So Unexpectedly. And man, that song sound like it got about 3 or 4 different flavors and styles to it as you was listening to it. I think you was inspired by a few different people, man. You know what though, man? I don't want to cause no controversy on here because a lot of people have, they say so. But your favorite artist in the game was R. Kelly, right? At one point in time, right?
I would say when it comes to songwriting,
Songwriting.
very strong.
Strong, right?
Very strong.
So with all of this tension against him, does that make you not want to really listen to his music anymore with people and all the accusations? Or you still like, look, I'm still going to listen to his music regardless? How you feel?
I would
Because
say,
me, I'm going to listen to it regardless.
Yeah, I would say, like you said, separate the artist from the personal life.
From the personal life.
You can't deny the great music.
You can't deny great music,
Yeah,
no matter what. Great music. That's why, because, I got a lot of people that's like, well, if you want to listen to R. Kelly, I'm going to disown you. But I know, man, that just listening to some of your music, even back in the day, you was inspired by him. You was inspired by, what was his name?
Oh, yeah, Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, you had so many artists.
I started, as far as songwriting, I started with Babyface.
Babyface.
He was like that first artist that the way he used to structure a whole song down to the last ad lib. He was never lazy with the pen.
Right.
So it taught me, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question. What was one of your first songs that you ever wrote that you thought was a hit? Even if it was corny, like what was one of your first songs you ever wrote that you thought was a hit? Do you remember any of the lyrics to that? Putting you on the spot, ain't I? Do you remember any of your first songs that you wrote, like in your beginning stages that you thought?
Some of them I remember just like title, a few lines, but I think it hit me when I had a Saturday detention in school, and I had nothing else to do because we had to sit in school for 4 hours. You know what I mean? Think about what we did wrong during the week. I forget what I got in trouble for, but I just remember writing in my notepad, and the song was called "You Are My Goal." And the whole time I was walking home, I was just singing it like, damn, I said I got a little something.
So give us a little bit of that.
Oh man,
taste.
that's old.
Yo,
I couldn't even give it to you if I
want to hear like something that you came from back then
A
to
little
something
taste.
you came to now. You know what I'm saying? Like we asking you for something that your penmanship, done changed with over time. Like I want to hear something from then and something from now. You know what I mean? Like give us a little something. Like
That
let us hear
joint
something.
was dope. So now we got to hear the old.
I want to hear who you was before this right now. Like give us something.
Let me
Any
see.
type of song.
Wow,
Like,
y'all
give us
put me on the spot. That's something I would have to really think about.
see, you got to get ready for those type of interviews, my brother.
Yeah.
So we got So Unexpectedly. The video should be shot soon for that?
Yes, I would definitely like to get the video done very soon. Just working on a couple of things, you know what I mean, right now until I can execute that.
Right now, are you trying to get yourself in a bunch of venues or anything? What are you doing right now? Are you just falling back, or are you still coming up with your plan? Like, what's going on as far as Anthony Lewis, the artist?
It's a lot of, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to capitalize on a lot of the resources I got. I got a few people, like, shout out to my man Tony Branch Productions out of New York and Les Boogie. They be reaching out to me, and, I stay close to, you know what I mean, my circle. Mr. John Hall, the boss man, I want to give a special shout out to him as well. He actually introduced me to a lot of these key people. Okay. And I'm just blessed that they taking a liking to me and want to put me on some shows. And so I just want to put out good music. Like I said, do my part, and then hopefully they'll dig it and then put me on stage.
Okay.
Do they have any artists under that? Like, I don't know who they are. Are they in the industry, or are they big names that you're talking about? These guys from New York?
You know how New York fast paced. You know what I mean. So they definitely in that intertwined in that circle.
Okay,
Yes,
and that's an old school situation you're dealing with, or is it more for the new school? Like,
I mean everything. I would say more R&B though.
more R&B flow. All right, well, Anthony Lewis, man, we had you up in the show tonight. We tried to tried to pull more out of you, but I see you trying to hold on. I guess you don't want to really let us know who you are. You know what I mean? But we wanted to bring more out of you. We wanted you to tell us more about yourself, more of your struggles, more of what you've been through. But you just didn't want to let us have it. And so we're going to come to an end of this interview in a second if Mike got any last-minute questions. But
all we want you to do is get your plugs out.
All right, check me out on Instagram. I got a few social media sites, you know what I mean? Instagram, _Lewis33. My website is anthonyblewis.com. And send me a like on my Facebook. It's A. Lewis Grown Music.
Hey, Lewis, Grown Music. Matter of fact, we should play Unexpectedly again on his way out of here just so that people can hear it again. You know what I mean? We get ready for that song by Anthony Lewis called Unexpectedly, man. We're about to take a break, and we're about to come back with our special guest, Dr. Stacy Tyler. And I'm so proud to have her in the building, man. I'm happy. I'm smiling right now. She about to let us have it. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.